Welcome back to the SMT Media Network, an NBA topic here for you all today. In this video, we're going to talk about the Denver Nuggets and specifically the reason why they are seemingly finding new ways to win, even in the face of adversity. They're trying to turn their season around off to a slow start in some ways. They hit a rut for a while, we're losing some games, but they're starting to get some traction. And the reason for that is the emergence in the role and the productivity of Russell Westbrook. I'm going to talk about that here today. But first, to kind of just put you in the perspective of what's going on with Denver, the Denver Nuggets have a 19-13 record. That's good for fourth in the Western Conference. In the last 10 games, they're 7-3. Within the conference, they're 12-9. And their away record, away from home, they're 9-8. They're currently on a 3-game win streak where they have wins against the Jazz, Pistons, and Hawks. They have losses 2 times to the Cavs. They split with the Suns, and they lost to the Blazers recently. Now, the wins came against some good teams. 2 wins against the Atlanta Hawks, a win against the Clippers. So it's really been a mixed bag for the Denver Nuggets. Russell Westbrook has been really productive lately. You're seeing additional productivity from guys like Christian Brown and MPG, obviously Joker. You know, he really is elite class type player. Jamal Murray. These guys have been playing really well alongside Russ. In fact, more specifically, in the most recent win against the Hawks, in 26 minutes of action, Russ gave you 16 points, 11 assists, and only committed 2 turnovers, which has always been the thing about Russ, right? Having to live with the turnovers. Now, the team shot 40% from 3. They made all their free throws. They were passing. They were moving the ball around. For, I think, the Nuggets, they, hanging around 12 turnovers gives them a chance to win, all right? And they're scoring in the paint. They're getting easier buckets. Obviously, Joker is a big part of that. But Russ is kind of producing triple-double productivity, near triple-double in a lot of games, and he even has a triple-double. He's averaging around 2.5 or 3 turnovers a game recently. So he's playing pretty good for Russ standards. MPG has been pretty productive. Like I said about Christian Brown, you're seeing games where he's getting you some points. And Jamal Murray has been really productive lately in these kind of roles for these players. So what I want to say about Russ specifically, and shout out to Derek, this is the reason why I made this video. I think Russ gets evaluated really, really harshly for the things he might not be that great at. But there are a lot of players who have a lot of deficiencies. In my humble opinion, I think Russ is doing all the right things for this team. So, for example, when I look at some of the advanced metrics and some of the numbers, he's got a pretty good plus-minus so far in like the last 3 games, specifically most recent games, right? So he's got like a plus 24 against the Hawks in the most recent win. And, that's pretty good for Russ, right? You got to take into account, how he's able to produce. He was plus 23 the game before that, and then he was plus 13 the game before that. So in their 3 games, in their 3-game winning streak, he's had a really, really good plus-minus. And in the games where they have him, he's negative, they can lose, right? So his play correlates to their success because when he plays well, his teammates also play well. He's an energy guy. This guy is giving you all that he has every single time he steps out on the floor. And he's a legend, right? There's no looking past that. This guy's averaged a triple-double for seasons multiple times. He is a very, very good player. I know he's not a great shooter. I know he's not a prolific 3-point shooter. But when he manages those things and makes good decisions, the Denver Nuggets seemingly find ways to win. And the other guys around him are playing really good basketball alongside Russell Westbrook. So the story and the narrative recently over the last couple of years was this guy is washed up. He can't be a contributor to a winning team. And he has proven that since he left the Lakers, he actually can be an agent of winning. This guy is helping the Nuggets be productive. He's finding ways to help his teammates be better. They're getting some wins when he plays well. And we saw this with the Clippers too. He was a very important player on that roster, especially teams that have injury-prone players. This guy can step in, play meaningful minutes, and help the team win. I'm not really sure why this narrative came about that Russell couldn't win and that Russell can't contribute to winning and he's washed up and he's not a good player. I have no idea where that narrative comes from. All I know is that this guy can still play at a high level. He is playing at a high level, and maybe he just needed the right guys around him to kind of help him show that he could still play. I think the Nuggets are a good fit for him. They needed energy. They needed someone who could help create offense. He's a big reason why they're able to do that. If you notice, Joker's numbers actually elevate when this guy is on the floor. They seem to complement each other well. And if you notice Jamal Murray having to do less in creating the offense, not having to do it all the time, is leading to him being more productive too. Maybe there's something to be said about a guy who's willing to put it all on the line, play his heart out, play hard, and that could just be enough to help a team be better and help a team win. I like Russell Westbrook on the Nuggets. I think this is a good fit. And if we could see his role continue to expand and continue to flourish in this system, and Michael Malone finding ways to use Russell Westbrook, maybe everybody who said those things about him in the past, maybe eventually they just have to admit it to themselves, eat crow, and admit they were wrong.